Hold on. Hold that thought.
You know what happened?
Hello and welcome to the Section 109 podcast here from Studio Breezy. Matthew and Jim were in the middle of educating me on something, so we're starting the podcast and they're going to continue to educate me. But first, joined by Mix, joined by Toby, who's over there in the corner, might make an appearance at some point. We have a new piece of art that is temporarily up there, but needs to do a little bit of deciding where exactly it's going to be mounted. But yeah, it's a very good t-shirt. Joined by Matthew. Jim, did I say Baba Juan the Goat? And yeah, boys, we used to have a segment on this podcast called That's So NPSL, in which we would share the craziest thing we had heard in lower division soccer that week or whatever else. It was a great segment. Turns out that NISA was not only more recent, but a much shittier version of the NPSL, because at least the NPSL had some standards. So I would like you guys to tell me, as a throwback, the That's So NISA moment of lower division soccer for this week.
It keeps happening that League One, USL League One, is really just now the spiritual successor of NISA. Like, if you're a poor or have no plan, you just go to League One now. And if you can afford to do literally anything else, you go literally anywhere else.
You mean USL Championship?
Championship, file an application for D1, go to Next Pro.
Dude, you're not going to Next Pro. There's no one going to Next Pro. It's just us.
If you are smarter than all of those people,
you keep your money in your bank account.
You put your money in the S&P 500 and leave it alone.
Or a bond fund. I mean,
You mean a bond to fire?
No.
No, that's just League One.
Just freaking
No, but okay, so there's some stuff.
treasury bonds.
Is Texoma in Texas? Am I right?
Yes.
Texoma.
So I heard that part. I was making an assumption, but it is
Half
lower
Texas,
division
half
soccer.
Oklahoma. It's like the north.
I didn't even think about that part. Okay,
Yeah.
Texoma. So what happened?
Well, I mean, it came out that Texoma was dropping.
They were a new League One team last year, right?
Yeah, yes. One
Brand new League One team.
And they were going to drop down to League Two. And there were these rumors that they were moving, like that everybody is that they were not going to be in League One. That they were moving really out. Well, what I thought was the rumor was they were moving out of Texas, like they were just moving. Like it's such a fustercluck that they were just like, we're boarding up shop and we're moving.
And then it was
very funny.
This other place came along and it's like,
What other place?
they might be moving to Collin County, Texas.
Yeah.
Which is nearby.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that far.
And Texoma does not have a very big metro area, right? Or has a really big metro area but tiny
It's
town?
just north of it's like North Dallas. It's like where what was it? It starts with an S. What you said we were just talking
Sherman.
about. Yeah, Sherman. Sherman, Texas.
It's Sherman, Denison, all of that is a part
North
of
Texas.
Texoma.
Yeah.
Did they name Sherman, Texas after the guy that burned all up down Georgia?
I'd be really surprised if they let that happen in Texas, but you never know.
It's somebody that displaced Mexicans through drill oil.
That makes more sense.
I have no idea, but that's what I'm saying.
That was believable as hell, man.
You could have picked an atrocity with Native Americans. Just pick one.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going. So they're in Texoma. They played for a year. I had heard they existed. And then they're going to League Two.
Two little birds on another League One bird mascot.
They are the birds. League One is for the birds.
For the birds.
So then they were going to League Two, which doesn't surprise me. This seems to happen pretty often. Very NISA, by the way.
We're going to drop down, and of course, the USL apologists. They're going to drop down to
we're going to stabilize
they're going
and
to get their shit together.
So they don't have to pay players anymore.
Then they're going to come back and be stronger together.
Yes, and then
we got word that this Collin County thing is actually happening. It's going to be called Rodeo Soccer Club.
Rodeo.
And
it is like a Wrangler commercial.
Hold on.
Not Rodeo.
It's not April 1st.
Depends on if you're Tampa or not.
You're telling me they're doing the most Texas thing of all time. They're naming their club after a rodeo. Are they going to play in a rodeo?
Yeah, rodeo. No way. Okay, I don't
Are we sure that isn't AI slop that's just being passed off?
This introducing North Dallas's new professional soccer club, Rodeo Soccer Club. Yep.
I don't know what button to hit.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a laugh track.
Well, we don't say funny things on this podcast.
It's the embodiment of the true Texan heritage meeting the beautiful game.
So
Every halftime has to be rodeo, right?
I would hope
so. Barrel racing.
Lassoing.
Yeah, sure.
So
wrangling.
So okay, let's bring this back though, because
calf wrangling.
You can't be catching the full size ones.
No, you loop around the hind legs of the calf.
Trip them real good.
Well, yeah, and you hop off the horse and then wrap them up 3 times and hold your hands up and everybody applauds.
So the plan here is to move 35 minutes down the road, closer to Dallas.
So Texoma's moving
towards a town called Salina.
Heck, great singer. R.I.P.
No, Texoma's not moving.
Texoma's dropping to League 2. This new club is coming into existence in Salina, Texas. Except initially, Rodeo Soccer Club is going to play at the exact same stadium that Texoma did in Sherman, Texas.
Right.
It gets better because they fired mid-season. They fired their CEO, who was a co-founder and a co-owner.
Which is kind of a League One thing. Either hire one mid-season and then fire at the end of the season.
Or do both at the same season.
At the same time, yeah.
Okay, so wait. Guy helps found club.
Yep.
Guy becomes a CEO and whatever. Guy gets fired by the other owners. Or he fires himself.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, he's taking his money and putting it into
So
gold.
what's actually happened here
Very Texas.
is
Maybe
much
cattle.
more.
Yeah.
So like Texoma, I guess, is going to continue to exist as an entity, as a legal entity, as a soccer playing entity.
Sure.
For
Texoma
6 games
FC
during the summer.
We'll go with
is
that,
going to exist, which all that tells me is they don't have like so many outstanding debts that it's worth folding the damn team, because they just started a new team
Who's
with
they?
the same ownership
It's the
group.
same owner. I don't understand.
It's the same owner. It's the same team president and founder who was playing in Nisa like 45 minutes ago.
Wait. Did they bring back the guy that fired himself? Did he bring?
No,
Did he promote
no,
himself back?
no.
as
They
CEO?
cut it. They've cut him out entirely.
He's out. He's out.
They created a brand new legal entity to cut this man out of everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like a.
That is what happened.
And this is a USL thing.
It
too.
is almost like
it's
the Oakland Roots
Oakland
situation.
Roots. Yeah, it's like Oakland Roots. Yeah.
So this guy's no longer in the cool club.
This
So
is
you're
the
saying he can run his PDL
Beno.
team.
This is the Beno. So we're waiting for his lawsuit, and then he will. Then this guy, what's his name? Then he'll start
Simon something.
Yeah, then he'll start
Simon Kaiser.
He'll start an MLS Next Pro team like 30 minutes down the road.
God, I hope so. That would be amazing. Okay, so first of all, Eric Young, if you're listening to this, I've decided what I would like you to do. I'd like you to record us a jingle, a That's So Nisa jingle, because I want to be able to hit a That's So Nisa jingle, like a radio style thing. So if you hear this, Eric, and you have the desire, I will task you with that. Otherwise, Jamie and Williams, I know you don't have much to do these days. You could also do that. Second of all, holy shit, that's so Nisa.
I didn't.
These are the desperate things,
And they named themselves Rodeo Soccer Club.
which is just.
These are the desperate things that are happening in League One. Now, I will note that apparently,
And they're coming back as a League One team, right? Not a championship
yes,
team.
in 2027, they're taking a year off.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Which, like, I would too, because what's $3 million that you could have? Well, they didn't have any fans, so maybe $4 million.
Yeah. Yes.
You're talking losses, yeah. Holy moly. Okay.
It's an exciting new chapter for the future of soccer in North Texas, says Justin.
And they were only the first USL team to fold this offseason.
Yeah, that is also so Nisa. All right. Well, that is our That's So Nisa segment for the day. Matthew, Jim, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Do you want to build a roster?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I do, actually. It is the off season. It is the wonderful time of the year after we say the goodbyes, which suck. My father, I saw him the other day, and he listened to the podcast. Dad, you shouldn't listen to this. definitely a dumb thing for you to listen to.
Now the other two listeners know how we get some listens.
Oh yeah. I asked all my family to download to give us extra downloads. My father's
That's
like,
right.
it's
You
good.
gotta do
It's a
it.
good move. Otherwise, you
gotta do
can't get to double digits without it. And so he said, "Man, those goodbyes are really hard." And I'm like, "Yeah, they're not very fun to do." But now that those are done, and we move into the eternal Hope Springs hopeful thing, Hope Springs eternal thing. That's where I was looking for.
Yeah.
And we're at the part of the year where everything is open. We've renewed some guys. We're, I'm sure, negotiating with some guys, though there's been no announcements yet, obviously, of guys that have been signed. So that's why I said negotiating. So, Matthew, let's talk about how you see this roster shaping up. Jim, I don't think you and I have talked about this at all, so I'll be interested in your kind of opinions.
yeah.
And let's talk through some roster building stuff. In the Chattahooligan Slack, there have been some questions.
Yes.
I did not write them down.
I've got them.
Cool.
You have them?
I had it up.
Okay.
I've had it
You're
up
the man.
I've had it up the whole time.
I haven't. So I have a camera and a camera. So
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to talk about the returners first, the ones we know. We'll talk about a little bit about each player. We'll talk about their contract, and then we will move on after that to the negotiations group,
yes.
because those names are different and interesting.
Yes.
And then
And very important.
we'll talk about what's left, roughly. And
Well, in particular, what we think is left.
What we think
'Cause
is
this
left.
is the imaginative portion.
but also like we'll be able to look at players that departed that also like contributed a lot this year and say, okay, well, there's a Callum shaped hole in central midfield. There's a Nick Mendonça shaped hole in defensive midfield, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
So let's start off at the returners. First one up is Darwin Ortiz. He is under contract through 2026 with an option for 2027. He signed a 2+1.
Yes. I am not going to hit the applause button every time this time just to save us, but know that you can hear it.
So Darwin got a few starts this past year in 2025. I think he ended up playing 7 games total. 3 of them were starts. He likely, I would assume that he gets a little bit more time next year as a part of his development.
I hope so.
And I think there was possibly an injury in there. He got concussed on live TV one game.
I saw some really, really nice moments, but he didn't have that long run of games to see a ton of them.
During his short run of games is when he got.
But there were some 10 and 15 minute periods there. And he started some games, but there's some 10 and 15 minute periods there. It was like, oh shit, there's a real player here.
18, 19?
He should be 19 right now, I think.
And he was a practice player for a whole year.
Think about the game he started against New England Revolution. I think he started that game. We won that game 1-0. The lion's share, other than the goal we actually scored, the only other chances that were created in that game by us came from him. So I've got him projecting as a backup. We saw him at right wing, and we saw them a little bit at the 10. I would assume that's kind of the spaces in that right side of the attacking band that we will likely see him in again next year.
I think he's a winger. I'll be interested. I don't see him at the 10, but we'll be interested to see if he does get minutes at the 10.
It also it kind of depends on how you view the 10 in general, because we didn't really play with a classic 10 this year.
Nobody does.
Almost nobody does.
Yeah.
So if
Got
if
an 8.
Is he a more of an 8? Probably not. So I agree with you. He's likely his
not
next position is winger.
Big enough.
What formation in your head are you building from?
I'm building from a standard 4-3-3.
What do you build from? A 4-3-3?
Or like a
That's what I have in my
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1 would be.
4-2-3-1 is the one I was built through in my mind. In particular, because I think
it really just the answer the question you have to answer is single or double pivot.
Yes.
And we close the year strong with a double pivot. That's what I'm going to build from to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got one holder and one runner, and you call it a day.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Next up is Tate Robertson. His option was pick picked up for the 2026 season.
That's shocking.
I can't believe that. I
I'm-
can't believe they bring back the best defender in the league.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he's probably going to be our starter at right back.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That seems
think-
pretty out
I
there.
think he's the first name on the team sheet.
Yeah, of the guys currently signed, yeah.
If in case you're curious, he, including hockey assists,
Yes.
he contributed to 23 goals this year in all comps.
Wait a minute. How did we? And we scored.
24.
It seemed like 24. Yeah.
The
Like
only reason I did
47,
not hit the
48?
sad trombone there for MLS assists or hockey assists, whatever you said, is because for respect for Tate. That's the only reason I hit the sad trombone with your
right.
dumb shit.
I mean, I appreciate a secondary assist.
Real talk, we scored 44.
44, yeah.
So he contributed to 23
And
of 44 goals.
and
From the
primary,
right
he
back,
did
from the
19.
right back
yeah,
position.
right
yeah.
back.
And so goal or assist on 19 of those 44.
How many of his were pens? 4? He didn't have a ton. I'm just curious. I'm not taking anything away. I'm just curious. Like, so from
Maybe.
Well, the other thing I think I would love to see is, you say he's a right back, so he's contributing all this. But I'd love to look at his individual defensive statistics. I mean, he's a solid right back defender.
I think so too. Yeah.
I mean, he's not a wing back that is playing right back.
Yeah. He's going to certainly play the wing back position.
Absolutely, he could play a
But
wing
yeah,
back.
no, I
But-
totally agree.
we saw him play at Lexington when we were keeping tabs on him, and they were using him as a right back, as a left back, as a right midfielder in a 4-4-2, and as a left midfielder,
Yeah.
because they discovered what we already knew and have found again, that delivers a really, really good ball.
yeah.
And so like they tried to move him up the field a little bit. He's been at his best for CFC as a right back.
Yeah, I mean, I like him out wide more than centrally, but
Agreed.
Yeah, and we can talk about centrally.
I think we'll still see. So we saw him in like 2 or 3, maybe 4 games for like 10 minutes centrally. Essentially, like towards the end of a game where they brought in Stevie and put somebody out wide or whatever else.
To put more offensive stuff going forward.
And I suspect we won't see him start much in the middle. Though you could, but I think you'll see him still play there in periods of time.
When we're chasing a game late
Bingo.
and need to have a little bit more possession and
Or
keep things taking over.
someone to get the ball to those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been when he's moved into central midfield.
And I would like to thank Lexington for
being
Stupid.
dumb as hell.
yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, next one up. Fareed Zarzar. His option was picked up through 2026. Interestingly, Fareed's contract when he was in the returners batch for last year, his option was picked up then. My read on this situation is that he got a new contract sometime in the offseason after his option was picked up.
Or during the season.
Or during the season or whenever, that put him under contract for 2025 and then added an option onto it for 2026, which not a crazy thing to do to a guy who kind of became,
He became the captain.
he became the captain but he became vice captain when in the offseason with the leadership group. It was he that got the armband when Alex went out, not say Eldon. So it's not surprising to me that he would have gotten a new contract either in the offseason or early on, whenever it was,
For sure.
to extend him out. So that option's been picked up. Yeah, he's probably just gonna be a starter at center back.
Yeah,
Although
I'd say so.
Although he did have a couple of games in defensive midfield in the middle of the summer in 2024.
Yeah, not in 2025.
Yeah, but not in 2025. In fact, he didn't miss a minute in 2025. Every minute, every game, all comps.
Wild. Not a single minute.
So he's probably going to be
He
a
didn't
center
sub
back.
out a single time.
Him and Eldon. Ironman.
I think the only reason you'd see him in center midfield is if we swing and miss on about 4 central midfielders and we sign about 4 center backs, and who's the guy that can play there. Otherwise, I think he's just locked in one of your two
Yeah,
sides.
yeah. If he's going to be a center
And the
back, come on.
beautiful thing is, obviously, if you play a 3-man, that changes things. So you can put him all 3 positions. But he's just he can use both feet, so you put him on the right or the left.
Yeah. This podcast has not had enough whiskey tonight to be able to start going down the drunk tactics route.
True.
But like, if we stay on long enough, we'll grab the sugar packets and a couple glasses and we'll do it right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Put him on.
Again, I still have these lingering mixed feelings about him. I mean, he has proven himself, but I still have mixed feelings about him as a defender, as a one-on-one.
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I still do.
I mean, like, do I want him? Do I want him defending in space? No.
But even duels. I mean, he's right at 50% winning duels won. I mean, that's FOP mob. So I don't, So I don't know how, but that's just
What's a good percentage for duels won?
Well, I'd want it closer to 60, 65.
Yeah, the eye test tells me that Farid was.
But I have come around. Like at the beginning of the season, I was worried that he was going to be our starting center back. I am not worried anymore, because he's obviously played well. But it's just, yeah, I still have these lingering.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff you remember is when he was playing like outside back, or we were in a back 3 for a while.
It also could be a partnership. You really can't look at a center back by himself.
Yeah, it's a partnership thing.
And so I don't know. I mean, it could be that with Nathan has made him better, and so
I think it's just 23 versus 20, or 24 rather versus 25. I think in 24, our center backs were much more likely to get isolated and put on an island because we would have the ball, and we would be way up the field, and we'd have everyone up the field. And if we gave it up, you were likely to see a center back getting run at by one or two players.
Center backs suffer for that. I mean, when you look at a center back making a quote unquote mistake, and what really happened was the midfield
wasn't there.
Which just wasn't there.
And so I think you did see all of our center backs get isolated quite a bit in 2024.
Yeah. That may be fair. That may be the difference. I mean, that may be what.
And by the way, like, that's going to happen in this league sometimes.
Yeah.
Even when you're playing pretty deep like we did.
I also
like dudes are gonna get roasted on occasion.
But I just don't think it happened to Farid last year in 25. It happened occasionally in 24. But like, because I remember having a similar thought to Jim and being like, man, he's out there on an island. Like, I don't like this. But I just don't think it happened in 25. I think he just won. When he had to win a duel, he won a duel. Like, I don't remember.
Depends. Do you count? Do fouls count as duels won
or lost?
I bet they count as lost.
Because he did a lot of like stopping breaks
but
with
like,
fouls.
They should
count as one.
They should count as wins.
No. They definitely count as lost duels. There's no way they don't.
Yeah. But they should count as wins. Because the guy didn't get by you.
He was very very clearly, from my eyes, the leader of our defense this year. And like, I hope he doesn't have to make as many plays.
Also, what was his duels percentage? 50?
Yeah.
What was his aerial duels?
51.
Because I'm going to point out something.
Yeah, 52.
We didn't give up a single goal from a corner kick in 2025.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, you son of a bitch.
We're already out. Like, we can't give up any more goals in 2025.
Yeah. No, I mean, set piece defense was really, really, really good.
Yeah. All right, let's.
We blocked a lot of shots in those set
and he blocked so many.
Yeah, he blocked. I don't know if he has blocks on here. 27.
So
I think that I just have a feeling like that number's low. Matt and I went over this, like who blocked the most shots at one point, and like I just think that he blocked so many.
Well, what I wish is I could go, and maybe I doubt you could do this online, but it would be great if you could see this information
comparative,
like compared across the league.
I wonder if
you kind of can if you just hit the per 90 button.
Our players
have to go online.
Our players are not in FBref, right?
No. Unfortunately.
Can you imagine?
Not at the level of FBref that I get.
That'd be fascinating. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next.
Season performances, total, and then per 90. It'll change your life.
Yep. Okay, I see it.
All right, next up, Nathan Kohler. His option was picked up through 2026. He started literally every game.
I can only say, sorry, I interrupt. I do realize this. they're color coded, so I'm thinking that's maybe league rank. So
Well, I don't know if it's league rank or just overall for center backs. I don't know about.
well, that's okay, but so,
It's within the league.
yeah, and so like deep red on duels. Well,
My eye
yeah,
test
red-
that doesn't pass my eye test, but that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's what the only thing. And again, I don't mean this. I don't mean this as a deep critique of him, because like you said last year, he may have been exposed more, which is why I have this lingering, this thing in the back of my head. But that's where, and it may be that's where we need to get better as a team. Just generally,
I don't think in 25 he got exposed a lot. In 25, I'm
saying 20.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm just saying I think in 25 we kind of stopped
That's
that.
what I remember. That's what my brain is remembering.
Yeah, because I started the year being like worried about center backs being on an island.
Correct.
And then he just, in my mind, probably like 10 games into the season, I was just like, cool, Farid's going to kick that guy, or Farid's going to take that ball, or Farid's going to stop that. Was just how I started feeling. And not that I felt differently before that, but
and to defend what you're saying is he's one of the better center backs in terms of being dribbled past. Like he just doesn't get
which wildly like what's the difference between that and duels?
Well, duels is you go. I mean, a duels is a challenge where you challenge for the ball. Dribbling past.
But he's not very fast. So if a guy was to get around him, they would be able to dribble past him. So it's just weird that those don't align.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Well, what it means is that if somebody's got some speed on him, they're getting by him. He's not even getting a foot in.
I think what it means is that there's
but nobody's doing it. So chances are he's getting into some kind of
perfect good position, making them pass.
Correct.
Taking the ball, whichever one. Interesting. All right, I think we spent enough time on a deep dive on Farid stats. He's back. I can't. Him and Tate. I think will be in pen on that lineup next year. And now we're on to Nathan, new player for CFC last year.
Yeah, came out of the English lower leagues while he was in the university over there, and. I think Nathan's an interesting one. Number one, like the story of him going the non-traditional route.
The story's great.
College in the UK, playing in the lower leagues at the same time. A lot of coaches in the US are not familiar with the English lower leagues, and so don't have anything to base.
I don't know about that, buddy. There's a lot of English coaches in the US.
Not like there was in 20 years ago, especially in the lower divisions now.
They're getting deported.
Jesus.
I don't think they're deporting the white English guys.
Fucking hell. So like, I think they talked about this in some interviews. Not like a whole lot of receptiveness to his career at that point. Because they didn't have anything to base it off of.
Road less traveled.
And like that non-traditional path is awesome. And so it was his sister. Shout out, because Road Warrior.
Hell yeah.
Coming up to Chattanooga and various places on the road to see your brother play. Elena.
Story on ChattanoogaFC.com.
Yeah, sent or told him to make contact with the staff
via LinkedIn.
Or via however, but like
she figured out
that we only had 3 center backs on the roster, and like that's probably someone you should call, see if they need a 4th center back. And lo and behold, he comes over, he trials. He's involved in the 5th goal in the final preseason game against Tennessee Tempo,
off the bench, and
signs a contract. Subs in game 1 and then starts pretty much every game out the rest of the season. So he played as a left center back and a back 4. He played as left center back and a back 3. He also played as the center back, mostly in that back 3.
Mostly center back in a back 3 or left center back in a 4.
It really depended. It pretty much depended exclusively on, was Ethan Dudley in the group, in the center back group, or was Logan Brown. That's mostly what it came down to. Although I think at some point in time, while we were still in the back three,
We just had Fareed out left.
he was just
him
playing in the
middle.
center, and then Fareed was out left.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think down the stretch, it was just pretty much exclusively Fareed and Nathan, right?
Yeah.
And I think we all know that this particular staff likes the back three. They're not married to it. They won't force it in, but I think they like the option. And, I think we're going to see a lot of Nate next year. Obviously there's a couple center back holes that have to get filled in the off season. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go play another 25 games like he did this year. Being as a part of a back four, being as a part of a back three. I think you're just going to see him a lot because he's a gamer. And he was like our third leading scorer.
Yeah.
And I think what you're remembering in terms of what we were talking about with set piece defense, I remember
One
him
of the
having
best aerial-
a lot of defensive headers.
One of the best aerial duels winners in the league.
Yeah. So at like 61%.
And one of the best block shots leaders in the league per 90.
Yeah. Well, we didn't block 10% of expected goals on accident.
Yeah. That's
Fareed and Nathan and a lot of other people, but Fareed and Nathan blocked so many shots.
yes. Yeah.
So many shots.
But that's such a condemning good stat, in my opinion.
Agreed. Agreed. But that's for another podcast.
Yes.
That we'll do hopefully next week. Matthew.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Next up, we have Stevie Louis Jean. Stevie Louis Jean. His option was picked up through 2026. Stevie, and I'm going to get my notes here to get it right, started about half the time that he played. 20 games in all comps. 20 games in the league. He was 23 games in all comps. 11 of those were starts. One of those starts was at right back when he was deputizing for Tate at the very end of the season. He had a bunch of starts in defensive midfield. I think Stevie's a guy that you kind of know what what kind of positions he plays, right? Like he's going to be a defensive midfielder. They've used him a little bit at right back, and he played a little bit of right back at Austin when he was out there.
Yeah.
So
I'm just so glad he hasn't said outside backs are.
Stop. Why did you even?
why would you do that?
Why did you even say? That's where I thought he was going earlier when you were talking
Outside
about
backs
Tate.
and defensive midfielders and central midfielders are the same thing. They are.
I think so. For me, like Stevie's start toward the end of the season when Tate was out for that one game really opened up my eyes to some of Stevie's potential minutes, because I really wouldn't have seen. I mean, like I saw him play outside back for like 15 minutes or whatever in a couple of games when Tate moved to the middle late in the game. But just seeing Stevie start against Atlanta and how good he was defensively at outside back, and also just the athleticism to like
The athleticism was a killer.
it was
Yeah.
amazing because that Atlanta team has two freaks up top, and like they never once beat him for athleticism, which was so awesome.
I think his athleticism allows him to. It covers up, I think, some of the things I worry about him more, which is just straight up, grit in the tackle, 1-on-1, that kind of strong kind of. I mean, recovery, his ability to recover and is what makes him a good defender. But I don't want a lot of recovery.
You don't want to recover, yeah.
I'd rather a player not have to.
But we
recover.
are not going to be Arsenal at least for another couple seasons.
I think you're just going to have to enjoy the recovery.
So yeah, it was. I am now projecting Stevie for next season. I now in my head am more projecting him in two different positions instead of just one. Instead, like I think he'll play minutes in midfield, obviously,
Yeah.
because he is a midfielder first.
Yeah.
But I think if you choose to move Tate to the middle, if Tate is out for a game, which he was remarkably Iron Man healthy this year and didn't get yellow cards. Boy, he had one yellow card. Did he get the yellow card suspension? No. So like but he never managed to get one of those. Like whatever. I could see Stevie deputizing in as the backup right, because he just was the backup right back apparently this year. Because whenever it was time for Tate to need a backup, he was the guy.
Yeah, who else played? Who played it?
No one else
Played it right back.
There was one game where Tate was held for a knock in the summer, and we were, I believe,
Robert Screen.
No, Minjay played the right wing back.
we were in a back
right wing
three.
back.
Oh, wing back.
And Minjay was the wing back there.
So yeah,
I was just a joke. I was just a joke for Screen because I'm assuming if we had a hole, we just put him there.
Yeah, the American Army knife.
Yeah. Yes,
The American Army knife.
Army knife.
So yeah, I think that's a good wrap on Stevie. He was 20 for most of the season. Is he 21 now?
I don't know.
I don't know. You're 20 and 2
Yeah,
years.
He's 21 now.
This will be his age 21 season.
He just turned 21 in September. So
So he's got some.
He's got a lot of room to grow still.
yeah, and if he does, I think you'll be looking to find ways to get him on the field.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's obviously the goal. All right, next up is Luke Huzakiewski. Luke was under contract through 2026. We don't know the exact particulars of his particular deal. In the summer when he was announced, the contract noted that it was into the season and an option for 2026. The contract in the press release that went out noted that he was under contract for 2026. It is possible that was an automatic pickup and not an option decision. It's possible that it was just turned into an 18-month deal or whatever. You never really know. And I'm reading like very, very into specific words, which sometimes is right and sometimes may not be.
Also, shout out to CFC for being nice enough to give us negotiations as a. They gave us a lot more roster clarity than teams do. Like some teams do give this amount of roster clarity, but many teams do not. And so shout out,
and historically, we were not very. Historically, until about last year, we were not very.
It was
open
very
about
opaque,
this.
and I'm really appreciative that they say like, "Hey, this is the group we're saying goodbye to," and this is not any why, but like where the contract was, like the contract situation. These are the who we're still negotiating with. Like, it's just nice to have some clarity.
I mean, like if you want to be a nerd with this group, you can know pretty much every detail about not the money side, but the length side. So you can do your own version of planning.
Yeah. And it also lets you know if a player you like might be coming back or if they're not coming back. Or if they are coming back, obviously. But normally it's just no, yes or no. It's just binary. You don't know if they're still negotiating. And it's cool to see a negotiations tab in particular.
So back to Huzakiewski, just an immediate starter. Like, he played his first game after signing off the bench, came on at halftime, played 2 positions that game, was brilliant. Started at defensive midfield every single game of the rest of the season.
What was the rest of American soccer doing while he was playing PDL? Not paying attention?
Well, it's PDL, so. But let me tell you something. He was a straight menace to the opposition. He was a Des Moines menace, that's for sure.
I'm only not hitting the sad trombone just out of respect for Luke Huzakiewski. You're a bad guy. Yeah, he was just a nailed-on starter. I think he'll certainly be competing for a starting spot next year. There's not a lot of like straight central midfielders on the roster.
Yeah, so it's really hard to
So it's really hard to
go down
know.
that road.
But like, it sure feels like, especially with the immediacy with which he was like renewed, either automatically or whatever else. Like, yeah, I think that guy's going to play a lot of minutes.
He has a little more bite.
He does.
I mean,
also has a little bit of goal in him.
yes, he does. Yeah.
I mean, 2 goals,
Big time player.
in those first
Big moment player.
Yeah.
in those first couple games, including
Starts the Charlotte comeback with that nasty goal. I mean, so good.
The-
Wins
the-
the game before that with the header.
the Huntsville
Yeah.
game. Yeah, like there's just some real good moments there.
And an all-name team.
Yes, absolutely. So much so that we cannot call him Luke Husakiewski in chance. We have to call him just Husakiewski because there's 4 syllables already in his name. Husakiewski. Like, it's a long one, which is great, actually. But, yeah, it's a long. Also, his Instagram, I think, just says Luke Husky, which is also fun.
Okay, next one up, Alex McGrath.
Welcome back, Captain. How dare you? There will be no Alex McGrath slander on this podcast, sir.
So Alex McGrath is listed as under contract. No year was put on that. No term limit was put on that.
You can tell Matthew reads the press releases with just pinpoint precision.
Yeah, I literally have it written down as under contract, term unknown. But that was probably the biggest surprise of the roster decisions announcement. Was that, Alex is under contract. I would have assumed that would have been a separate, even if it was that day, like hey, by the way, we did this thing. Because that's your club captain. That's was he a 4-year player at that point? 2 years.
2 years, Rod. 2 years, Chris.
With Rod.
No, 1 year.
3 years with Rod, but one of them was in Next Pro, and then 1 with Chris. So he's been here for 4 years.
Has it been that long already? That's crazy.
Yeah. He'll be like a new signing.
He will.
A little bit, yeah.
He will be. Like
he's the fourth. He's the fourth. He's got the 4th most appearances in CFC history.
Yeah.
Like,
it's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
He's been around, but he's coming. He's coming back from an ACL injury that he sustained at the very, very end of March in Kennesaw.
March. Okay.
And, we all hope that he comes back well and ready and recovered. But it's a big injury. Like, you just never know.
I would think he would be doing some work right now. I mean, he's 8 months out, 8 months post surgery.
Yeah, like
he'd probably be doing some light running and
you should be doing way more than that by now.
Yeah.
So ACLs are, unfortunately, kind of common. So it comes down in part to what kind of graft did you get? Mm-hmm. What kind of recovery timeline were you planning for?
Yeah.
And then just like how your body responds. The biggest.
Thanks, Dr. Matt.
The biggest indicator, or
I bet if they used hamstring,
it would take longer.
Yeah. But it would also be better. It would be better in the long run. He's young enough that I would hope that's what they did.
Do you think they used horse placenta too?
No, they did not.
So
I don't think they ever used I hope they didn't use a cadaver ligament.
I did mine.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're old.
Alex McGrath might be the same age as Matthew.
He's not. No.
My son, when he had his done, he was 18 and they did hamstring.
Yeah, so I don't know the kind that he got done, but like the biggest risk factor for tearing your ACL is having torn the other one, the other knee.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's going to be something to watch out for.
Well, you favor it. You don't.
Yes.
It is so meant. My son still freaks out when he goes and plays a pickup game of soccer. He's still worried.
And because
4 years,
the recovery process, building back strength in especially in your quad of that knee, it's incredibly difficult. I've found that it's incredibly difficult to get the balance right of my muscles in both of my legs, which has led to problems down the line. Now, was I recovering with athletic training staff on a professional sports team? No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Are you as in tune with your body as a professional athlete named Alex McGrath probably is?
No, I'm not. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I think it is like a new signing because we didn't have him for the whole year, and this is a guy that I think pencils into the starting lineup. Health, I'm only saying pencil because health determines how many minutes, especially early in the season, he's available for.
Every season he's had a full year with us, he's had 10, 12 goal contributions.
Yeah,
and that
no matter what the league is,
and that was NISA, and that was Next Pro.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
a center midfielder
And he just does the damn
who
thing.
just does the damn thing.
And he can play the 8 or the 10. He can also play the wing. Don't forget.
Can also play the 6. When Richard Dixon was out, who played the 6, my friend?
He did.
And that's also his college position when he was at Appalachian State.
I just don't think you get the best out of Alex because Alex runs and covers all the ground and gets forward and does the thing.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm not advocating for this. I'm just saying, like,
My head will hurt if Alex is playing the 6.
but like
Hey, listen,
if you're
there's a red
building,
card- if there's a red card and we need somebody to drop into the 6,
if you're building
Deal.
for
So
a
if Tully goes full Tully,
if you're building for a double pivot, it's not that crazy to think that he might be the runner in that double pivot.
that's exactly where I think we're going to see him. I think runner in the double pivot or sometimes the 10. Maybe both. Maybe it's 50-50. Maybe I don't know.
Or if you have kind of two runners ahead of a single pivot, it's functionally the same thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay. Next up, we have hi Toby. How you doing, buddy? Come here. Next up, we have Daniel Mangaroff. His option was picked up through 2026. Mango was signed. I think
after the Atlanta United game.
Yeah, I think if we were doing this, and I think we did do this at some point in time, we projected him as a backup, kind of a backup 10, and maybe some wing stuff, but we weren't 100% sure about the wings at that point. And it turns out Mango was just a starter.
Yeah.
Just all year. He started 27 of 31 games in all competitions.
And when he didn't start, I don't know why.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of a break.
I'm just saying he was so good. This isn't me shitting anybody. I'm just saying he was such a difference maker whenever he was on the field.
9 goals, 5 assists, 4 hockey assists in all comps. 18 goal contributions in total. 14 direct goal contributions. Number 2 on the team.
He was
Fantastic. He was that dude.
Yeah.
Really, really good. He's got that versatility, which I think is valuable, especially going forward. Being able to play multiple positions is key. We saw him line up as a 10. We saw him line up as a left-sided winger or wide forward. We saw him line up on the right-hand side.
We saw him line up as a left wing back.
He scored. Yeah, he played a game. Started a game at left wing back, deputizing for Milo once, which was critical. His ability to play multiple positions and to impact the game wherever his starting position is massive. I think we'll see a lot more of him next year. If I was to be building a roster or fielding a team right now, you're probably just penciling him in at I'm gonna say right wing, probably, but like who cares? Like somewhere in the attacking band, you find a spot for him, he'll do the thing.
Yeah, his versatility means I think he's just one of your wingers or 10, and you figure out the other position. You sign the best players you can at those positions, and you just put him at the one that's left.
You get into training and you put him on the team sheet, and he'll do things.
You can play the right wing, you can play the left wing, you can play the 10.
All right, next up is Anthony Garcia, under contract through 2026.
This is similar to Luke Huzakowski one, where it seems like we don't have the confirmation there, but it seems like there might have been either a quick renewal and they just chose to word it that way, or it was already like, hey, you hit a certain number of appearances or whatever, minutes played,
auto trigger.
Like, I don't know what it was. But he was, it looks like he's just an 18-month type of deal.
Yeah, so summer signing, he was a starter most of the time.
Yeah, he pretty much took over that wing spot once he came in. Mostly the left wing.
5 starts and 7 appearances. Didn't have any direct goal contributions, no goals, no assists. Did have a couple of hockey assists.
He did draw a penalty.
He drew a penalty. He also had a hockey assist. So I think one of the things that Anthony was really helpful with for us was the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, he dropped back.
Ton of defensive work.
He would drop back in, the running, the high energy, the athleticism. I thought it gave us a lot. On that side of the ball.
And the stats bear that out. I mean, I mean, he's at the top of most of the defending stats for
wingers. I could see that. He was everywhere defensively running. And then he also, one of the things we couldn't do in that middle lull, that middle 10 games of sadness, is we couldn't get out of our own third, especially if somehow we got up for a goal. Like, we were so pinned in. And the one thing that like really stuck out to me is once Anthony got here, in particular.
Yeah, shit, man. You ain't kidding on these greens. On defending.
No, I'm not kidding.
He started.
It's all green.
He gave us some athleticism on that wing and ability to just run. In addition to doing great defensive work, teams had to like pay attention to him getting out. He was able to get out. He gets out and draws the penalty against Carolina Core away to get us that win. Like it's not only his pace that was good, to be clear, but his pace really stood out as like, oh, the teams have to be careful because he's going to get in behind or he's going to get on the run and on the break. And it was a wonderful, wonderful, refreshing thing. And I'm not shocked he's back based on that kind of eye test.
But we still need more shots, more chances, more goals, and he has got to contribute.
I agree.
From that.
I think he's got to start shooting more, and like he was only here for what, 7 games?
Yeah, he played in 7 games.
So there's not a lot of like judgment to come from our end, but like
you also think about the 7 games that he was here for, and I think there's one he didn't play in, but the time that he was here for, we weren't creating a whole lot like that, and
no,
we were doing a thing once, and we were defending the rest of the time. Kind of. So
we were in game management mode.
I think there's a lot of like I'm not gonna pin some offensive woes on one player.
No, of course not.
No, and that's not what Jim and I are saying.
Embrace debate. So that I think there's a structural thing as you look at building a roster and then selecting 11 players to put on the field. I think there's a structural thing that's going on here. In terms of, and we got one more player, and then we'll talk about this. But how do you create chances going forward?
I think there's an Alex-sized hole in our.
I agree with that. I also think that like one of the things that I think Jim will agree with this is that I saw from his games, because he was so dribbly and so fast, I wanted him to get free and just rip a shot sometimes. And like sometimes he didn't get to that for whatever reason. And I think that we might see more of that in a larger sample size where he can get free from somebody, especially on some interplay, where he can get a step on somebody and he can rip one, past the goalkeeper. Because he has not a lot of players. Well, I shouldn't say not a lot of players. It's difficult to get a step on somebody in general, and he can get a step because he's got some pretty great athleticism. And I'll be interested to see if he can create more shots for himself. He created a reasonable number of shots for himself and for others, but I think he could create more. In a longer season where he has a preseason, all the other. This is no shot. This is like, hey, I see even more potential from a good player.
I think there's also, if memory serves, he was called offside a bunch.
Yeah.
And
he played on the back shoulder a lot.
And like, so you're looking at like adjusting some timing stuff and thinking about like how we want to create chances. And if you can get the right players to complement that skill set of playing on the back shoulder and that timing starts getting down, well, like we like getting in behind. It generally means nice and fun things.
Also, I would imagine because he was offside so much in some of those positions, like I would imagine the instructions were get on the back shoulder and stretch the game. And he did that. And it really opened things up for us in comparison to what we had been doing the games before that.
All right. Our last returner, Keegan Anselin. His option was picked up for 2026. Keegan started a bunch of games at the beginning of the season while Peter Plowman was out with an injury, and ended up playing 26 games in total in all competitions. He started 10 of them, 3 goals, 2 assists. He had a hockey assist. Those 6 goal contributions were legitimately 4th. No. Yes. 5th on the team.
And that tells you a little bit of the problem with this year's team, which is that if Tate wasn't doing it or Mango wasn't doing it, we weren't doing it for the most part.
Yeah. Striker, we saw him a lot at the wing.
I don't know if he's a striker.
Yeah, especially down the stretch. I think it's a fascinating.
He's one of the most interesting players on this roster
Yeah.
because he can do so many different things. Like, he's a giant body. We watched him really change some games on the wing by coming in and starting to give us a thing we didn't have, which is like pace and power.
A little bit of
and like
hold up.
guys that they can no longer, like, you know, if you're going against Min Jae Kwok, who is all of 5'8", 5'9", no disrespect, but like he's not a big guy. And then you go against Keegan, who's like all of 6'2", 6'3".
Like you're now in a physical
Your game,
game.
the game you're playing as an outside back changes drastically. And I thought like he really did some really interesting things out wide. And I think we're going to need some gimmicks in general. I think that's one of the things that makes soccer interesting is you can have some gimmicks. I don't know if he's going to be the starting winger all year, but I think there's a case to make him a winger starting and off the bench some of the time. This isn't me taking him out of the starting lineup other times, but like you can play him out wide because we, against Carolina Core away, this was a particular thing we did. Like, I don't know if it was the plan or if it's just how it worked out, but Eldon kicked it long to Keegan on the wing a bunch of times. Carolina Core away. I thought that was really interesting. I thought he was a real mismatch on the wing. And I obviously think he can be a center forward. He's got a center forward's body. He was center forward in college, but like it's interesting.
But I think where he plays depends on what type of 9 we get.
Sure.
I mean, if we get
or if we play 2 up top.
Right, if we play 2 up top, I think he's a 4. I think in a pair, I think he does really well. But I could see a situation where he plays a center forward where we have 2 Mango-like wingers, and then they rotate. I mean, you don't know where the 3 of them are going to be.
Totally.
And so but if we have that strong 9, I don't see. I mean, Keegan's got to go out wide. If we want to play with a 9, I think Keegan's got to go out wide
Or play with 2.
Well, we just talked. Where were you? Did you?
He was checking his phone.
Did you leave for a second?
He's also a bit of a marauding kind of guy. Like he seems to really thrive getting into space and running with the ball and without the ball, like on the break. And this was his rookie year.
Yeah.
And and he was 22 in his rookie year. I am very interested. Maybe I don't want to say more than all the other players, but I am super interested in what Keegan becomes because I think that like. He showed a ton of promise and had a good year, and it's only his rookie year.
Before the injury, he was really good. I thought, especially, and I've said this to Matt, I don't know how many times, but him and Mango on the field at the same time.
We agree on that. They had a thing. They had a bromance on the thing. But I think as a player, like that, rookies hit some sort of wall, whether it's like the middle of the season where they stop performing, or just the middle of the season their performances go down a little bit, or they get hurt or whatever. But it's very common, very rare, I should say, for college-based rookies to come into a pro year and be the same player beginning to end, because the college season is just not very long, and these guys aren't used to playing at such a high intensity and workload and whatever else. And so I'm not saying Keegan wasn't good in the second half. He was fine, but he got hurt a little bit in the beginning, and he definitely played some important minutes in the second half, but he wasn't starting at the 9 a ton. And I'm very interested what 2.0 Keegan looks like, because there's a chance that 22-year-old Keegan going to 23-year-old Keegan like takes a big step forward. And
I hope so.
If that athletic profile that he is, and then the frame and the ability to run, and obviously the promise and the goals and the assists be early on, like if that stuff comes together, he's going to be a fucking problem for this league. And for in a lot of leagues, he's going to be an absolute problem. Like, development is not linear. Like, who knows what happens? But, like, I'm excited for Keegan to come back because I think there's a lot there.
Be a little more selfish on the ball.
Yes, I would like him to be a little more selfish.
Take some shots.
Truly, I'd like him to be a little more selfish. But I think that's a thing that comes with being a young player. Like, I think a lot of times you develop that selfishness as time goes on. And who knows? But yeah, very, very excited for Keegan to come back and what that means in year 2. Because I think if anybody's going to take a big jump on the roster, he's one of those guys that like I think we could be talking about at the end of the year. Like, holy shit, Keegan had, this isn't a prediction, but Keegan had 14 and 6. And you're like, yeah, what a season, like,
yes, if he has 20 goal contributions,
just saying.
I will be happy.
I think we all will be.
All right. So I want to briefly hit the negotiations because those could happen, those could not happen.
Let's do it. Also, we should have prepped the people this was going to be the nerdiest podcast of all time.
Yeah. Oops.
Until we do our next week.
Until the next one.
All right. On the negotiations list, there's 6 players. Eldon Jakupovic.
Please come back, Eldon.
I wager he'd probably be our number 1 starting keeper if he comes back.
You think so?
Just guess.
That doesn't
Yeah.
seem like duh.
If he's back, he is the number 1 name on the team
Correct.
sheet, right?
The only reason we got to say that anyone else was number 1 on the
right
team
before
sheet.
Tate.
Yeah. Eldon, he's the Eldon and Tate. Yeah, Penn, Sharpie.
Yeah. Mike Beretta. Would imagine he would reprise his role if Eldon is back and Mike is back. Would imagine he reprises his role as the number 2. I would like to see him get some time, frankly.
It's a shame. That's one of the problems with soccer in the U.S. There's just not. You've got the league, and that's
You don't have another cup. We need 2
about
cups.
it. Yeah, it's just about it. Like I like to see him play maybe in that first round, maybe the first round Open Cup game. But outside of that, and unless you're up by, even if you're up by 4 goals, you just don't.
You don't sub the keeper very often.
So, there's just no other opportunities outside of injury, and we certainly don't want that.
I think
for a backup keeper to get playing time.
I don't have a lot of complaints about the coaching staff in general. I think they did a pretty stellar job this year. One of the complaints I do have, or one of the criticisms I do have from outside, unfair potentially, Mike and Philpott should have gotten.
Why?
They should have at least got a game.
No.
You had plenty of midweek games to plan it out for development purposes.
Not your keeper. No, not in a league game. Absolutely not.
They had opportunities and they should have. Also, you should have given Eldon on a week that they have to travel for 3 games. They should have just given Eldon whichever game off, made him not have to travel, because why make him travel and risk injury when you're playing 3 games in a week? They should have gotten him a game, and they should have in a game. And I know we didn't have a lot of these, but in a game we were up a lot. There were several games Eldon went down with what looked like might be an injury.
True.
Like, you just should have preemptively. I understand if the game is tied and we're under it, but like, it should have preemptively brought in Mike and let Mike and JP should have got minutes, at least a game or 2.
You're not going to get 3 keepers minutes.
And look, I wouldn't be saying the same thing. If JP got 0 minutes and Mike got 2 games, I wouldn't be saying this. I wouldn't be like, oh, JP should have got a game. Like, that's your third keeper. But neither one got a single minute. It's wrong. It's the wrong move. I don't know how to fix it. I'm not a coach, but I just think you have 2 22-year-old keepers or behind a really, really, really good 41-year-old keeper. You should have figured out a way to get them some minutes.
Did you see us play this year? Did you see?
I understand how it happened.
I think that was the calculus.
I understand exactly how it happened.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, what they should have done is they should have said, this game, a month out, is the game that Mike's going to start, and that is it, and they should have stuck to it. Because what happened, I'm guessing, is within the thing, it's like every game is important because every game you must win because we're in a dogfight. Yeah. And if you make a plan ahead of time, like just like when I realize we just talked about cup competitions, so it's not the same, but just when there are these cup competitions, like they say like, oh, this keeper's going to start in this cup competition, right? You can do that. We could have done it in the first round, of the Open Cup, but it was, I'm sure, deemed too important, right? He wasn't going to talk about the game. He wasn't going to play in the game that we're not going to talk about, and wasn't going to play in the playoffs. But we had enough 3-game weeks. You could have picked one of those. You could have picked a team that wasn't as good. You could have picked whatever game you wanted. You could have brought him in for 15 minutes at the end of a game as a planned substitution in a game that, hey, if we're up, I don't care what it is, but there should have been some more thought from my perspective, because you can't have 2 22-year-olds. Neither one plays a single minute.
I could see him subbing, like, even though you don't really sub a keeper, I could see subbing in for a game that it was comfortable. I just don't know.
We also risked injuries to a 41-year-old keeper by playing him every single minute of every single game.
Yeah,
that's part of my calculus.
Right. You have to add in the age, but I wouldn't normally sub a number one keeper.
There's definitely not another keeper in this league that played all the minutes.
Well, yeah, but
in other leagues, in general, nobody plays every single. I mean, it happens occasionally, but Well, somebody's either.
I think Maddie's here.
Oh, nice. So anyway, point being is that's one of my only like small things that I would like criticize, critique, suggest could be better. Hold on.
We should let them out and let her take charge. Or not. We're doing it live. Okay, I'm making the executive decision. We're moving on.
No, we're not moving.
No, we're going to argue for the rest of the thing.
I'm just looking at the time, and I know that we have to go do something.
By the way, that's an hour off.
Before 5 o'clock.
Okay, you got the time there. Cool. I'm just letting you know the clock up there. I have not changed yet.
Yeah, we gotta go to the bank to prepare for a wire. So
Hell yeah.
doing things, not a NISA wire, mind you, a real one.
Well, this one's going to cash.
Milo Garvanian on the list, 2-year starter at left back. You would think he projects to go right back there if he comes back.
Right back, left back. Okay.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Yuval Cohen is on this negotiations list. If you'll recall, he signed a contract right before the Huntsville game, I think. The Huntsville game in August. So played each of the last like 6-7 games of the season. Started every single game at the 9. I think he came off. No, he started all 7. His contract did not have an option on it. It was essentially a 3-month deal. And
did he score 4 goals?
no, 1 goal.
Okay, so just looking at this,
He probably
Those were
scored 4
Miami.
goals in the league this year, including his time in Miami.
Oh, okay.
Because he was on an academy contract there.
That's right. All
Signed,
right.
signed his first pro deal here.
Okay.
I mean, he came into the group and started all 7 games. So,
I was like, I don't remember.
but like, I don't know. I don't really know what his particular situation is. Just because like he got the hell out of Dodge in Miami and signed a short-term contract here. So I think he's also going to have to think about like, what he wants to do with his career. And is that here? Is that elsewhere? Is that Europe? Is that who knows?
Yeah, when somebody does not sign with an option, it's on purpose. It's always the player's choice because teams always want to have some option for control.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I wish him well if he leaves, but I would love to have him back.
Next one is Peter Plowman in the negotiations pile. His contract had an option on it. In theory, that option could still be triggered because I think we have until a certain point to trigger that option. That might have already expired. We may
Oftentimes
not.
it's the day after the final or whatever.
Yeah, so different leagues have different rules about those types of contracts. I think in USL you have until like November 30 or something like that to trigger the option. MLS's might be different, so we don't really know. It could be that they are just declining the option. I mean, this guy's missed the second half of the season with an injury, right? Like,
Yeah.
And
just had
much of the first half too.
and just had surgery.
Yeah, I mean, he's
So
he was injury bug bitten.
It's not unreasonable to decline the option and enter into negotiations of some kind for let's see you get fit, let's see you pass the medical, et cetera, et cetera.
But it'd be fun to have him back just for goal celebrations.
I mean, look, he was super productive in the minutes that he played.
He was insane.
He was awesome, man. My favorite thing is him running away, jumping, and players being scared to touch him, being very clearly scared to touch him. It's so good.
The last one in this group is also kind of interesting. Also a bit of an injury story this year. Amzian Sidmohan. He played 60 minutes in all comps?
Can I respectfully say
All
who?
the hair team. The
All hair team, definitely.
all hair team.
But also, like, I forget that he was on the team this year.
60 minutes in all comps. There were
60,
5 appearances. Winger.
Unreal
Had a
injury problem.
Great preseason. Totally unreal in preseason.
So good.
Bad injury problems. Interesting one that he's on the list.
Yeah. Interesting thing that he got in the playoff game.
Yeah.
That's a guy who basically hadn't featured
for months before that.
Yeah.
So I mean, he had a small stretch of games. I think he featured the first regular season game of the year. He featured in a couple, 2 or 3 in the middle. all off the bench, and then there was a big gap, and then playoff game.
Yeah.
So what's left? Well, if you take Yuval and Peter both being strikers, Amzi being a winger, Milo being your left back, you've got Eldon and Mike as two your goalkeepers. If you take all of those and assume that they are returning, what you're left with,
which is fantasy land, but for the sake of the argument, let's do it.
correct,
How many players is that?
that would be 16.
16.
So
we
you're
need
left
10.
with a third goalkeeper,
We have 10 under contract currently.
No, I mean 10 more, but 26, 27,
probably 20. I think 24.
24. Okay.
For now, you might add in the summer.
Part of Matthew's calculus here, and that I think I agree with, is you have roughly 8 more spots if those guys all sign, which they won't, but let's say they do for argument's sake. And then we saw this year how impactful bringing in guys in the summer was. And I think that because of where we are and because we're competing with other MLS teams and we're competing with other USL teams, and it just makes sense to leave a spot or two for the summer when guys maybe have finished school and then play PDL, or they're coming out of contract in Europe or out of contract somewhere else.
Or like they sign at a club and the situation there is different. Maybe somebody gets fired. Maybe it's they signed a player really early without understanding how they wanted to play, and then now it's not a good fit. So you've got like a goalkeeper, probably another left back, probably 2 center backs. I've got a central midfielder and a 10. But like if you decide Alex is a 10, maybe you've got another room for another like more defensive midfielder. Like you're flexible a little bit. I think you need another winger, probably a high level winger as a starting position. And
Now we're 7.
your last one, probably a flexible spot.
Did you say 9 already? Oh no, it had Peter. It had Peter and Keegan.
If both are coming back.
Yeah.
There'd be
And
3.
Yuval. So you'd have 3 on that list.
got 3.
Okay.
So like you've got a flexible spot for
But you said a winger, right?
as a starting level winger.
Yeah.
So like if you've got guys that you think can be backups in multiple positions, if you're building some flexibility, and then you just got a flexible spot for we kind of need more of this thing, and that gets you to 24.
So from the lines, you've got a keeper, you've got 3 in the back line, 1 outside back, 2 center back.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 in the midfield.
Yeah. 2 center
And
midfielders, a
1
winger.
A winger, and then somebody who's
Something. If you get a group together,
Yes.
if you get a group together and and you're like, you know what, our primary starting formation is going to be a back 3 because of X, Y, and Z. You might want another center back.
Yeah, about to say because that would
Because you'd only have 4,
right? Yeah,
but now we did that a little bit this year. But like, if you really feel
Tay could come in and play outside back, but
Sure.
outside center back.
Yeah, I think so. Also, this year we had Fareed, who was your guy in Penn, and your leader of the defense, and then you had 3 other guys who, at least at the beginning, started out kind of in parity because you saw them kind of getting subbed out for each other. And then as the season went on, Nathan just like took the spot, and then we started playing a 2-man, and it was Nathan's spot, and you would see the other 2 guys kind of come in depending on what happened. But I think one of the reasons that worked, because you had 4 guys who all could play minutes. If you sign a young kid, which this is a big if, but if you sign a young kid, maybe they're not, like if you sign a Darwin Ortiz, like who's a guy who played some minutes, but we didn't count on Darwin Ortiz like we counted on Ethan Dudley to play, as an example. So it's also like what age and experience of a player do you sign? And if you have 4 center backs that are like roughly starting quality, like you're like, all right, cool. You only need 4, even if you play a 3-man potentially. It's a little short, but I'm just saying it's different than you need 5, especially if 1 or 2 of those guys are younger. Like you really need 5. That was my only point.
now, like if Eldon decides he's going to retire, or we don't agree to contract terms, like
Please don't retire, Eldon.
then
Come
you're
back.
then you're
Start
looking
all the games except 1.
then you're looking for a number 1 goalkeeper. Like if Milo and the club don't reach a new agreement, you're looking for another left back. Right? Like it just kind of works down the line like that for.
So you think you sign someone with the intent of being number 1, or do you sign someone to come in and say
Goalkeeper?
I think you plan.
or you sign someone to say come in and compete with Michael for number 1?
If you
I don't know. I don't know what's out there.
Man, I think if Eldon is coming back,
Well, this is if Eldon's not.
okay. If we think Eldon is coming back, I think you're signing a guy and you're telling them like, if something happens, we expect you to play a lot. Otherwise, like, maybe Andrew's wrong and you're not going to play any minutes. But like, you're not going to play. I don't think you're promising any second goalkeeper if Eldon's coming back more than 1 or 2 games. Promising. I think like they got to know that it's your chance to learn
Which
under
means you're
someone
gonna
who's
get a kid.
Potentially, or you're getting someone who's willing to sit because they don't have they didn't have a
Anything else to
seat.
do?
They didn't have a seat at the table that involved playing time.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're 25 and you're an MLS Next Pro goalkeeper, that's actually I think interesting. If you're 25, you're an MLS Next Pro goalkeeper and you've been the backup at 3 different teams and you've rarely got many minutes, you may realize that like, hey, my best move here is to take a spot that's got like a paycheck that's going to cash, because in USL you don't know if those teams are going to fold. Like, hey, I'm going to take a spot, or maybe you only have third. You could only have third goalkeeper minutes offered to you. But like, hey, I'm going to take this spot. If something happens to the starting keeper, I know I'm going to be the starter. Otherwise, like maybe he retires next year and I win the job for the following year. But I think whoever takes that job is going to know that like either this is the best goalkeeper in the league. He's going to be the guy who plays the lion's share or all the minutes. And so I think you're just getting a guy that can play minutes, I think is what you're doing. Young or old, but I think I don't think you're getting a 19-year-old goalkeeper, because I don't know, pairing a 19-year-old who needs to play some minutes in development-wise. Because what would happen if you had a 19-year-old as your backup and something happened to Eldon, he was going to be out for 6 games, like how good do you feel about a 19-year-old? If they're 25
Your
or 24,
your backup has to be someone that you can trust to play 10 games in a row.
Right. I mean, that's if the backup's not Michael.
right. So I think Mike. I hope Michael goes and plays somewhere.
Yeah.
I would like him back. Like selfish part of me wants him back because I like Michael and I think he's a solid player and I'd love to see
I think
him.
he's the future number 1.
I think he'd be exactly. But also like
Yeah, which is why I ask if Eldon's not coming back, do you sign somebody to say we're not guaranteed you're not?
I would
signing you as a
sign
1. We're signing you to come in and
with respect
and
to Michael. I would, if it was me making the call and Eldon was going to retire, I bring in someone also good.
Yeah.
And I look at that person and Michael and I say we're gonna go sign a number 3. Like the job is between you two.
Yeah.
Make each other better, and I'll pick the best one.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That's the way I would do it.
Yeah.
All right, I have 10 minutes. I really actually do need to get out of here in 10 minutes. We have some questions that we should get to.
Do it.
Well, we kind of answered one.
We did. And one of them is like the likely percentage of Eldon returning. No clue. Who can get inside the mind of an Eastern European?
I think you're being wild. I think he comes back. I've said this before. I think he's having fun. I think this is a higher level than the men's like league on Sunday he would play in if he were playing just randomly. And I think this is fun for him. And I think you see that from his reaction when he saved the penalty against Atlanta. Like you look how like that celebration where he ran over and jumped on the cap. Like I think he really, really is having a good time.
Yeah.
And he retired for a whole year. He obviously tried out the retired life, and like
Got that itch.
he can go back anytime. But like, I don't think he needs to play because like obviously this is below his level and below his standards. A reason he's the best goalkeeper in the league. But I just looking at the body language and how he like interacts with I think he likes this.
How dare we take away a spot from a developing young player?
Yeah, fuck them kids. I think he'll come back. That is vibes based only, but I just think he's going to come back.
TJ also asks, who are the most likely breakout candidates? Development's not linear for me, but like look at Darwin and Stevie. And from the negotiations list, Omzi, if he does come back, like those are young guys. Had good,
Keegan's the one for me.
had good moments. Also had tougher moments. Keegan's a great shout there. Second year pro, like, but like those kind of guys, like
This Alex guy, I'm interested to see what he's got.
He's a young buck. I don't know. Also, every year that somebody doubts Alex, every year we're like, new player's coming in.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's. And then he's just always like the first name on the team sheet and like one of the most productive players on the roster.
Kyle Johnson asked, what roles do we need to go further next season? And what was? I think there's a whole
Score more
podcast
goals.
for what was different this year compared to last, and what do we need to do for next season. That's a full fucking podcast,
I
actually.
just got score more goals.
Let's just save that.
Score more goals.
I will say we need a healthy 9. We had Peter hurt all year. We had Keegan hurt for a little period of time. We didn't get enough goals from the 9. The player playing the 9 position did not score enough goals for us this year. Our right back and a winger scored the majority of the goals.
Non-Mango wing goals also severely lacking.
Sure.
And
Just
if you look at
frontline goals, we just need frontline goals.
And I think also, like, you look at several key positions that guys that we said goodbye to. You look at, like, Callum and Nick in central midfield.
It's a lot of minutes in the
That's
midfield.
a lot of minutes in central midfield.
And Alex is only one player. Like, I don't think Alex eats up all the minutes of both those guys.
Like,
we're going to need another player or two to eat up some minutes.
There's clearly been some sort of decision for, like, something in there needs to be different. And I would not be surprised to like, when we do a podcast in, say, February, close to the beginning of the regular season, I wouldn't be surprised to be like, to point to central midfield and say, these things are different. And here's how we think that might go. That is different than last year. And then, last question, Bill Altred. Who is the number one person you would like to see a sign in the offseason that wasn't on our squad?
Kevin Sullivan.
That's a hell of a cop-out. I like it. I would take it.
You didn't give me
Mbappe.
Come on, let's get serious.
Is there
Mbappe.
Is there a player in MLS Next Pro that is?
Yeah, we should keep this within the league.
Is there a player in MLS
Kevin
Next Pro that is not on a very clear MLS deal?
He's Kevin's on an MLS deal. So
He's
it
been
doesn't
sold to
count.
Manchester City already. I'm not going to cop out and say having Gavin Turner back. That would be a fun one.
That would be fun.
On a permanent deal, that would rule. I am going to say, this could go a bunch of different ways. I'm going to say Dylan Singh.
You do love.
I love
Big
Dylan
Nine.
Singh. I love Dylan Singh. So well, first of all, he's available. So I think that makes it a fun part of this thing.
Yeah. And we don't yet know a lot of the other roster decisions that have been made.
But he was Crown Legacy already released their roster decisions, and they were not renewing or not bringing back Dylan Singh. I thought he was. I didn't watch a lot of their games. I didn't watch a lot of their highlights. I watched a little bit. I watched them against us, and in particular, I thought against us he was really, really good. And I think that type of 9. And there's other players too, but I'm just going to pick him for now. I think he's really, really good. And I would love to have him. I think he would have really changed the way our offense looked. In particular, he was healthy. Like, it's also possible Peter's just as good a player as an example, or Keegan next year is just as good a player, or coming back Yuval and whatever. Like, I'm not trashing the guys we have, but like, as far as adding a guy at the 9 position, he's the type of profile that I really like.
I'm gonna take a player next pro contract that is not returning to his next pro team, and I'm gonna go Hassan Ayari, Toronto FC winger. He came up through the Sheffield system in England, American Tunisian, I believe, and just nose for goal. Can play. Was mostly a 10 coming up through Sheffield. He played mostly out wide for Toronto. That feels like the kind of thing. It's like 22, something like that. Goals, assists. That feels like the kind of player that makes sense for us to recruit. Also really good. So I'll go with Hassan Ayari until someone tells me that the roster decisions for Huntsville / Real Monarchs have been released, and I can put Damian Barker-John on this list.
That is your guy.
Yeah, I don't know the other. I mean,
I did not say Christian Kofi. I want you to be proud of
Kofi.
me.
That's what I was going to say.
Say Kofi. Say Kofi. It's a good one.
I mean, like,
Kofi.
The best player in the league, arguably. Yeah.
yeah. Only reason he didn't make the best 11 is because he played like 1,100 minutes.
In Ronan Briscoe, in his, I hope I'm not misgendering somebody. I assume Ronan is a male's name. I really don't know any other Ronans. In his season wrap up of Huntsville, he mentioned that Kofi has been training exclusively or mostly in Nashville.
Yeah.
I think he said exclusively, but I'll just say mostly because I don't remember, in case I'm misremembering that part. But like, he is really fucking good.
I gotta think they.
Do you know how
find
much he would change?
I gotta think they find a way to put him on a real MLS contract next year.
You would
it's
also-
an international spot problem, but like,
Yeah. You would also think that if Nashville doesn't do it, somebody's going to do it.
or he's gonna go
would
make
think.
like fucking $10,000 a month in the
championship.
championship.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Like, bye, have fun.
That is a
You
fun.
don't want Baby Carlton?
I would absolutely. take Carlton.
He's gonna get an MLS deal.
Yeah.
If he didn't have MLS appearances this year, I would have said. I would have potentially said him. There's some other players like. Yeah, there's other players on other teams that I love.
I think there'll be a fun podcast after we know like who's actually out on the market.
Yeah, who's out there?
And we
wish list.
We just don't yet.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different guys. Yeah, Damian Barker. I'm surprised you didn't say Damian Barker John from the beginning, but who knows? He might be
They
back.
would
on
need
the
to
May
list.
not be available.
They would out to the Collegiate Cup and see what's going on.
Oh, he
with
will.
Yeah.
I won't.
I do watch some late night West Coast soccer when I'm falling asleep.
Listeners, viewers, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you want to do us a favor and make us feel loved, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use. We love you, and we will catch up with you soon. Peace.